What you manifest in your mind, you can bring to reality.
UFC 235 just happened. T-Mobile Arena, Las Vegas, headlined by John Jones, Anthony Lionheart Smith for the light heavyweight title, co-headlined by Tyron Woodley versus Kamaru Usman for the welterweight title. A card pretty much stacked from top to bottom. I enjoyed the card. I was looking forward to this card all week, and was able to make sure I took the day off to watch the entire thing, and I drank far too many beers, but that sometimes is what you do when you're engaged in combat from a viewpoint of vantage point as a spectator. But yeah, so the main event, let's get into it. John Jones. First off, I was two weeks in a row, I got all of my picks right. This last one, I got 3 of 5 right. I got the first 2 wrong of the main card. Garbrandt got knocked out, which was a crazy fight. He just threw caution to the wind against Munoz, and then Munoz was just able to be a little bit quicker and land the punches a little bit faster in the brawl that ensued at the end of the first round. But yeah, Cody No Love got knocked the fuck out. And Munoz win. It was a good fight overall. Then Tisha Torres against Weili Zhang. Again, Torres looked great, but just Zhang looked that much better. Went to a decision, but it was unanimous. Then craziness happened. Askren versus Robbie Lawler. Lawler came out and tagged Askren. Tagged him. Askren looks like shit on his feet, first off. So definitely, once he got a hold of Lawler, you could see like he was just a gecko. Like he had full adhesion. He was glued to Lawler, but Lawler was still able to pop him even when he was getting wrestled. And Askren was kind of looking like he was starting to at least calm down the tone of the fight. Was able to tie up Lawler and just kind of start implementing his game plan of wrestling. Got Lawler in a crazy like bulldog choke. And it looked, watching it looked like Lawler went out. His arm dropped. It looked visually like he went out. But immediately when it was stopped, he was with it and awake, and it was just one of those things where, you could say it's an early stoppage, but if you watched it, it looked like Lawler was out. And, not the greatest win for Askren, but, win nonetheless. I don't know if they're going to run it back. I'm good with that. I wouldn't mind seeing Askren fight anybody else. I don't need to see that fight again. Although I think Lawler probably wins it in the next one unless Askren's able to get in without getting hit next time, because he got pieced up. He was not looking that great early in that fight. But still looking forward to seeing him fight again. We'll see. Maybe it's just Lawler had his card, even though Lawler lost. But then Usman got that pick right. So Askren I got right despite, being very stressful going into it. I had already lost 2 picks going into that third. I was not very hopeful. But Usman, so Askren won. Usman came in and destroyed Tyron Woodley. I loved the fight. It was a great fight. As far as pushing him up on the fence and landing a bunch of dirty boxing, I don't know what's going on with Mark Goddard separating like action. Like Usman's got dominant position and working. He is landing all kinds of punches. He's never stopped working, and for some reason the ref kept stopping it and putting him back, and I got nervous because Tyron Woodley on open water is a very dangerous man, and he was given open water far too many times, but wasn't able to capitalize, and Usman got the win. It's new champion at welterweight. I don't have to Woodley looked great in his last fight against Till, but overall as a champion, not even close to a discussion with GSP. Not even close. But great win for Usman. Excited to see who he fights next. I hope it's not a rematch. There should be no rematch at all. Woodley should have to fight one guy, at least one guy, before getting a shot at the belt again. And then the main event, John Jones, completely dominant against Smith. Smith did look good. He survived well. There are some illegal shots, which John makes it really hard to be a fan of his. But I'm a fan of his, despite some clear. I mean, at least they're not eye pokes. He's gone away from the eye pokes. Now it's just, kneeing opponents in the head while they're down. But still kind of a tricky situation. Nevada had like some hybrid rules, which I think that's there just needs to be. You would think the UFC would have enough leverage to go into markets and kind of force them to implement these, a standard rule set. It's like if watching basketball, but tonight the Bucks are playing in LA, and the 3-point line's a little bit different shape. You got out of bounds. It's just more warnings. You don't really have to take the ball out. It's just you get warned a bunch of times. Like, there needs to be some legitimate rules that mean shit, and none of this kind of, I think we're going to do it or we're not going to do it bullshit. But Jones wins it pretty easily. It went to a decision. Would have liked to see a finish, but Smith is a tough dude to finish. But overall, just a great fight. Zabit looked great against Stevens. Johnny Walker, just another destruction from Johnny Walker, and destroys his shoulder, celebrating. Diego Sanchez against Mickey Gall. I'm a fan of Mickey Gall, but, he just needs experience, and he took on a fucking legend that just does not stop and just waited for Gall to punch himself out and then was able to just destroy it. It was a great fight. I love Diego Sanchez too. So hopefully Gall he just needs to get better. He's young. He's fucking green as fuck. Don't rush yourself, man. Just train and just pick off people that are in your level of experience. You don't need to be trying to be the legend killer. You're not there yet. You started too early. But yeah, that's it for the UFC 235. Overall, really fun night of cards. Next Saturday, from Wichita, is Derek Lewis versus Junior Dos Santos. I'm going to make picks really quick. I love Derek Lewis. I want Derek Lewis to win. I don't think he's going to win, so I'm picking Junior Dos Santos. I just think overall more skills. He doesn't freeze. I don't know if Derek Lewis' back issues better, but he hasn't looked great in his last fight. Despite my love for Derek Lewis, I think Junior might get a win on this one. Then I have Millender beating Curtis Millender beating another Dos Santos. These are kind of just guesses in a lot of ways. Nico Price I have over Tim Means. Ben Rothwell's back. I got him over Ivanov. I got Drew Dober over Beneil Dariush, and I got Tim Bosch is back against Amari Akhmedov. Should be a fun night of cards. I'm not super pumped on any of these fights necessarily, but actually, there's a lot of bangers in this card. So, it should be a fun card. It's a fight night, so no big deal. But it looks to be going to be a lot of fists flying, similar to 235. Just overall, fights are great, and I enjoyed it. That's it for this episode. New episodes come out daily. Subscribe on IGTV and everywhere else podcasts are found. Binge the full week over at patreon.com/inspireddisorder. InspiredDisorder.com for all of my artwork and other podcasts that I've done. At Ray Taylor for me on all social media. Have a wonderful day, everybody. Peace out.